let's try this again because for some reason, shit is starting to piss me off. I'm not happy about it because notifications are fucking assholes. Mm. Anyways, and if you're trying, okay, we got a guest coming in. We got a guest coming in. Let's
Boy,
add.
listen. Boy, listen.
Look here. Look
I've
here.
told you.
Look
Listen,
here.
listen. I'm about to cut the best promo in the world right now. That
Go ahead.
digital
Go ahead.
media heavyweight championship belongs to me.
Why
You
is that?
might think it is your destiny. You might think it is your life. But boy, I'm coming for your neck.
Well, come on with it, dude. Bring
I don't
everything
care.
you
I
got.
don't. I don't
Bring
care who I have
everything.
to. I don't care who I have to beat. I don't care who I have to go through. I don't care how many it is on one. I'm coming.
Bring everything you got, man. Bring it all because you're going to need it. Like I said, I'm the star of the show. There's a reason why it's called Wrestling with Maverick, not
Yeah. Now,
Wrestling with
now,
Michael.
now, it, now it's wrestling with Mike.
No, it's not. Well, here's the messed up part about that. Consider my name's Mike too. So
He did a bitch.
either way it goes, damn it.
By the way, guys, I am your AEW analysis for Dynamite and Rampage.
Yes, you are. You have officially joined the team as the AEW analyst, which is really cool because you've been trying to be on the podcast for a while now, and I figured you're an AEW fan and I'm really not. So there you go.
You can't win, you can't lose. You're a WWE fucking fanatic, and I am an AEW super fan.
It's not that I don't like AEW. It's that I'm not as invested in AEW like everybody else is.
AEW is doing great things right now.
Yeah, it's not okay. I'm going to say something that Nick Khan said. It's not hard to run a wrestling company at a loss whenever your dad's putting the money for it.
But you know what? They don't have stupid storylines.
Okay, so the bloodline storyline is stupid.
I can get behind the bloodline thing. What I can't get behind is this whole KO Sami Zayn cahoots thing, because when you dig deep, and I know you've seen it, I think this is all a Paul Heyman Sami Zayn thing.
It very well could be, and like there's a lot of ways this could go, honestly, and my prediction, at least for the men's Royal Rumble, might be shocking because I'm predicting that Sami Zayn's going to win.
And I'm predicting Cody.
I'm I don't think it's going to be Cody for the simple reason of how they went about announcing him being in the Royal Rumble. I don't think it's going to be Cody.
You don't think it's going to be Cody?
I think the reason why I think that is because they let the announcement out way too soon. It's still, I mean, they could have kept it a surprise. In
I'm
my
waiting to
opinion,
see what the surprise entrants are. There hasn't been one in the last couple of years that was a big banger.
I don't think they're going to have one this year.
I shared it on Facebook not long ago.
Jay White.
King Switch.
I'm sorry to break your heart on that one, but I don't think that one's going to happen either. For the simple fact, he's got a booking like tomorrow in Japan.
And
Unless he's gonna red eye that flight.
it would just be cool to see him come in and kind of take over the OC with AJ.
It would be cool. Kevin, hold on. It would be stupid AWE did all that build for Cody and for him not to win it. I agree.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you.
I agree with
You've
that.
been my boy for way too long outside of all this podcasting and wrestling. Like, you were there through the music shit, and thank you, sir.
I would agree with that sentiment, but okay, let's go. They built up Daniel Bryan for the 2000 and I want to say was it 14?
See, now let me stop you there, because the whole Daniel Bryan thing, it worked, but it was stupid the way they did it, because they were trying to Roman Reigns Batista at the time, and the fans kind of stood up and go, no, we're going to force your hand and your ratings and your ticket sales until you push Bryan.
Well, yeah. Well, not just that. here's the thing. Like I believe it was
That one
2000.
WrestleMania where he won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, when they had the two titles that he won, that WrestleMania was epic.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I just honestly, I don't think it's Cody. I think the surprise entrant very well could be The Rock. I mean,
I would kill for that to happen. Now here's what I've always wanted to happen. The way they should have booked it was keep, they sneak people into the arena all the time and keep it a secret
yeah,
until they come out at their entrance.
right.
So what they should have done is they should have snuck The Rock into the building on a Raw or a SmackDown when the Bloodline was in the ring and his music hit. He comes in, he takes out the Usos, he takes out Solo Sikoa, he takes out Zayn. Rock bottoms Roman Reigns and tells him, "You ain't the head of shit."
Could happen. Kevin said
That would
surprise.
have been dope.
Kevin says surprise entrant should be Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Stone Cold has been offered a lot of money to reappear.
Yeah, and he's been offered a lot of money to face Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And also, the going rumor as of yesterday, from what I've read at least, is they want Stone Cold versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Well, see, Stone Cold, when he left for that reason. He didn't want to take a dive to Brock Lesnar.
The reason why he left is because they wanted him to lose to Lesnar in the King of the Ring tournament, and there was no build to it at all, and that's the reason why Stone Cold took his ball and went home.
But could you imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin? Austin 316 was born at King of the Ring.
That is true.
They wanted him to take a dive in his own tournament that he made famous.
True.
You know what that would have done to his legacy?
I don't think it would have done anything to it, honestly. I think, if anything, it would have done more for Lesnar. But
and this is just my opinion. I think that, they did The Undertaker well from beginning to end, but I also think they kind of ruined Kane's legacy.
Explain.
So I was cool with, the mask off and him becoming the fucking just the monster.
Right.
Ruining everything. That would have worked for the next 30 years.
Yeah.
When they brought him so far down to being corporate Kane, I very much disliked it.
Right. And
they made him soft.
And Kevin said he's going to win the Digital Media Championship, mark his words. Dude, you and everybody else says the same thing. Here's the thing.
You have to go through me to win.
It's like I told the wannabe Mike Maverick over there. I told him it's like it's inevitable. It's like death and taxes. Death, taxes, Mike Maverick wins. That's how life works.
That's not how life works.
Yes, it is.
Let's not forget here. The last time you won, you cheated.
It doesn't matter, dude. It does not matter how you win as long as you win. If you're not cheating, you're not winning.
All right, Eddie.
Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. You don't have to cheat to win.
Bull. Okay? Look, we all know what happened. It's done. It's in the past.
You can win clean, buddy. You just you've never been taught.
This time, I can't cheat. I can't do nothing. It's done by points. So y'all have a fair shot here.
Then why are you called? So if it's done by points and it's done, see, here's the deal. This is his tournament that he created, and it's done by points, and you have to win by, points and calling out the correct shots. But yet, mind you, he runs this whole thing. He's going to cheat to win.
You honestly, dude, you honestly think I'm going to cheat to win? You really do think that?
Wouldn't be the first time.
You really do think I'm going to cheat to win? No, I have.
You're calling your shot very early, my boy.
I have too much respect for the people involved in this tournament to cheat to win.
You're calling your shot awfully early.
I'm calling my shot because this is me.
Let's not forget, Sami Zayn called his shot 2 weeks early and lost.
Yes, he did. But I'm not Sammy. I'm Mike.
He guaranteed a win and lost.
Again, I'm Mike Maverick. That's all I have to say. If I say I'm going to do something. Oh, by the way,
for those that are watching, welcome to Wrestling with Maverick.
Yes, Wrestling with Maverick. Not Mike. Maverick.
Wrestling with Michaels.
I
That would
mean
work.
that could work too. I mean, it's WWM. It still makes sense. But yeah. So again, it's done by points, and there's no changing your answers or predictions. You cannot change them.
You're looking at the next digital media world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, me.
Me.
No, me.
Me, bud.
Like I told you, dude. Death, taxes, Mike Maverick wins. That's how it works.
All right. Well, when I'm holding that championship and I'm taking pictures with it,
Hey, it'd be the first time you could take a picture with an actual belt and not a kid's belt.
oh, says the guy that broke my neck
Hey, shit happens, dude.
with a steel chair of all things.
Hey, like I said, shit happens. Okay.
All right, right to censor.
But anyways, like I said, okay, you can finally take a picture with an actual title and then give it back to me because I'm the rightful owner of that title.
Yeah, but you got to win to get it.
Who said I'm not gonna win?
Me.
I'm gonna beat all you jabronis. I'm gonna beat you. I'm gonna beat Kevin. I'm gonna beat Mandy. I'm gonna beat Anthony. I'm gonna beat Brandon. I'm gonna beat them all. You want to know why? Because I'm Mike Maverick, and that's what I do.
You keep talking that you know. See, you talk tough behind the camera. We can set a ring up anywhere you'd like, and we can do this one final time.
And I'll beat you again.
You can't beat me clean.
It doesn't matter. I still beat you.
You
It's
can't
done.
beat me clean.
It's in the books. Okay?
For
it
now.
Doesn't say how you won. It just says who goes over and who doesn't.
For now. You find me a ring, I'll meet you there.
Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm walking out digital media champion because, I mean, who else would you want to carry an entire brand? I mean, come on. I carried an entire network for the better part of a year.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm on the network now. And things are changing.
Like I carried 2 guys for 3 years. Okay? I carried everything that's going on right now is because of me.
Hey, have you heard of Joe, by the way?
I talked to him a little bit earlier.
How's he doing?
He's good.
Good.
But everything that's going on right now is because of me. Because of my talent. Because of the fact that in 2019, I started a podcast and changed the entire world. Now people are copying me.
Well, it's not. I'll give you your props. You started this podcast. I will give you that. You brought me on for a reason.
Yep.
You didn't bring me on because we're buddies. You didn't bring me on because, you know, history. You brought me on because you respect my opinion.
Yes.
Now, my opinion is I'm going to win.
That's your opinion and you're entitled to it. You know what my opinion is? Actually, better yet, it's not a prediction. This is a spoiler. I'm going to be the one to carry this brand moving forward. Because who else would you want to carry the brand other than the guy that built the brand?
I'm trying to read that comment here.
He said he could carry the brand very well.
And I'm not saying he can't. He can carry the brand very well. But we're talking 2 different brands here. See, he's stuck up Vince McMahon's ass. And
okay.
I'm holding down a brand that's going places. It's trying to buy WWE.
You're holding a brand that has made no freaking money since its start. They're still in the black. You're holding a brand down that literally their first video game is being delayed because of too much blood and violence in it.
What can I say? We don't do PG over here.
And if they were to get and rated M for mature rating on that game, there would be no more AEW games.
Everything in wrestling can't be PG.
And on top of that, you just said that AEW is trying to buy the WWE. I don't think Tony or Shad has that money.
Well, let's not forget, Chad owns Jacksonville.
Okay, and what the fuck have they done the last year?
They just did great things this year.
Why you stuttering, bro? But anyways, I don't see that happening for the simple fact of, number one, what would they gain from buying WWE? Anyways,
Putting Vince out of business.
Okay, Vince is gonna put himself out of fucking business.
Like, don't get me wrong. I am always and forever going to be a WWE fan because of the history that it's had. It's had an impact in every one of our lives.
Yes.
In the last 5 to 10 years, Vince's stock has plummeted.
But ever since Vince is talking about selling the company, I don't know if you look at the stock reports, it's gone up every day about 15%.
Vince creates controversy.
Yes, he does.
Controversy makes money.
He's the human version of herpes. He just pops up everywhere. What?
He said it pops up and don't go away.
like a pimple on prom night. Just plink, there it is.
But see, you have and had championships.
Yes.
You're not as hungry as the rest of us.
No, because I've already proven myself. But this is just for me to have a vanity project, really.
Like I said, whether I have to go through you, Kevin, Mandy, any of them, I'm going to win.
Well, okay, I hope you do.
I've called my shot, and you have it written down.
Yes.
Now watch tonight, come 8 p.m., my whole paper comes correct.
And everyone else has called their shot too, so... Like I said, you're one of 9.
9 people, 1 winner.
Yeah, that moves on. Actually, it's going to be... It depends on how many points are done, but then move on to the Elimination Chamber and then WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2.
See, I am of elite company.
Elite. Wow. Dude, you are sucking AEW's dick hard right now, bro.
AEW was fun, bro. You missed out.
Oh, dude, I saw the videos. Like, I know. Unfortunately, had to work. Shit happens.
So what's your opinion? What's your opinion of Satnam Singh?
Yeah. He's a lot like every other big man that I've seen. He's a one-trick pony.
I would put him against Omos with Omos as the winner.
Yes. Okay. Now, if you want my honest opinion of the Mark Briscoe Jay Lethal match, I think it's sad that it took one of them to die before they could put the Briscoes on nationwide TV.
See, that was a network thing. That wasn't AEW.
Yeah, but this is the same network, okay, who fined Jim Crockett Promotions for having someone bleed like literally Jim Cornette was busted open, and they fined Jim Crockett Promotions like $1,000 some odd, but yet you have Ruby Soho bleeding like a stuffed pig and nothing happens to him.
It's TBS, man. It's USA won't let WWE do anything.
Well, it's not that. The reason why WWE stopped blading and stuff is they don't want any STDs to be transmitted. And the chair shots is because of the whole Chris Benoit thing.
Man, I haven't seen Bob Holly since that whole back fucking cut.
He's been wrestling. Actually, his last match he had was in Impact.
You remember the big cut down
Mm-hmm.
his fucking rib cage and back?
Yep. From the
I,
table, from the wrap, the shit. It was a table spot that went wrong.
yeah,
And basically he had his last time I heard he had his last match in Impact about 2 or 3 years ago.
that was one of my like top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time.
And honestly, I have and going back to what we talked about earlier between AEW and WWE, I'm not a again I want it so bad for AEW to be competition, and then I saw their first show and it's like they're not.
They got some really good talent over there, man.
I will say that they do. I think the biggest problem for AEW is the fact that Cody left. I think that hurt him.
And I tell you what, I also think that we haven't seen the last of the Dudley Boys either.
I mean, well, Bully right now is an Impact, and Devon's getting back surgery.
Yeah, Devon's cleared. He's already had that back surgery.
From what he said on Twitter, he's having it February 18th.
Oh hell, something I read the other day said that he had his back surgery and he's been cleared.
According to what I read yesterday, he's supposed to have it February 18th because someone asked him if he's going to be at the Rumble, and he's like, I can't.
I would love for him to go back to Impact with Bully Ray and do the Aces and Eights thing.
Yeah, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know how long Bully's contract is in Impact.
They had a spot they did with D'Lo where they showed the Aces and Eights vest.
Yeah.
And that came of nothing real fast.
Yeah, I don't know what Bully's contract is in AEW. I don't know if it's like per appearance or if he's like signed to like a hard deal or whatever. I have no idea.
He's an Impact.
I know he's an Impact, but I don't know for how long is what I'm saying. Like, is it like a year? Is it 2 years? Is it 3 years?
Hell, and I thought they retired. I thought that was it. I thought he was just going to do his podcast thing.
Right. I still see MJF coming to the WWE. Could happen. We'll find out next year.
No, I don't think where he's got the Triple B. I don't think that's going to happen for a while.
Well, if he loses it,
and let's be honest, I'm pro AEW 100%.
Yeah.
MJF getting the belt was probably the best move they ever made.
Yeah, it was a good. I will say this: it was a very good reset.
That man has so much raw heel heat. It's not funny.
Yeah, I would say it was a good move for a reset for the company with everything that happened with CM Punk.
CM Punk is cancer to the wrestling world.
True, but there is rumors that he could be appearing tonight at the Royal Rumble.
Did you see Seth Rollins' tweet?
Yeah, I actually read that before I went live.
Yeah, he was like, I just don't like the dude.
I mean, who can blame him, right?
Phil's an asshole.
Exactly.
He couldn't get along in WWE, and he apparently couldn't get along with the Elite.
Well, there's so many different parts to that story. I don't know the actual truth behind it. I heard that the Elite kicked in his door. Then I heard that a dog got punched in the face, and yep, MJF did the Rosie O'Donnell show whenever he was like 8.
MJF getting that belt probably made things better rating wise for AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, this man doesn't just have heel heat. Fans hate him.
Oh yeah, I know.
Do you know what him holding that belt is doing?
It's creating a lot of interest within the product.
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to see what happens next year because next year his contract's up.
Bryan Danielson, that's that was a thing that I was excited about, and then I wasn't.
What?
When he appeared, him and Adam Cole, when they appeared on AEW television, I was like, oh, hell yeah. And then that went nowhere.
Well, Adam Cole unfortunately had that match at Forbidden Door and got injured.
Yeah, but I mean, Brian Danielson, he's so if you've noticed when Claudio comes out, when John Moxley comes out, when Yuta comes out, it's all their Titantron is all BCC shit.
Yeah.
I guess Brian dropped out.
I don't know what's going on with that. Again, I don't watch AEW on a regular basis, but I'm going to start now that they have finally got a streaming site.
Do you know something that I don't?
Apparently, they have sold streaming rights to AEW. You know that app, Danzan or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Apparently, they're going to start streaming AEW content on there a lot more, like Dynamites and Rampages and pay per views.
Well, see, I get to watch all the WWE stuff for free because I don't even pay for my fucking Peacock,
Neither do I.
and it's commercial free. I don't get ads or none of that.
Dude, I get my Peacock through my phone bill.
Yeah, I think that's what mine is.
So once my phone bill's paid, it's paid.
Um, the whole Ass Boys and Acclaimed angle, I love the Acclaimed. I'm glad they are holding the titles. I don't think Billy Gunn's sons are ready.
I don't either. I think
Oh, my man's phone died. Anyway, guys, long story short,
all right. I guess that happened.
what
Um,
happened to you?
I don't even know. It might be the Wi-Fi here. But anyways, my full opinion of AEW is there's a bunch of young guys there that are great talent and I think can go places. It's just I just don't see it right now.
I would love to see like Forbidden Door 2, WWE versus AEW.
That would be cool.
Like put the Acclaimed against the Usos.
Well,
MJF against Roman.
if they do a Forbidden Door 2 with the AWE, it won't be the Usos against the Acclaimed. It'll be the Usos against the Young Bucks because that's a dream match that everyone wants.
I'm talking title holders against title holders.
Oh, well, then, yeah.
Mid card against mid card. Tag team titles against tag team titles. World champion against world champion. And then you could have like Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker take on Toxic Attraction or
Yeah.
Some kind of shit like that.
Yeah, I could see that. And honestly, I would order that pay-per-view. I would.
I don't know. I think if these wrestling companies let us fans do their booking, they'd be a lot better off.
Yeah. I mean, I did an entire rebooking of the Wyatt 6 angle, and I made it into a faction.
Well, now they're calling it the Cult of Wyatt.
I don't know what they were calling it. I just said Wyatt 6 and said screw it.
Well, at first, the Wyatt 6 was a thing.
Yeah.
And now, when I went back and I reread some of it today, they were calling it the Cult of Wyatt.
I don't know. But Kevin actually read my rebooking of Bray Wyatt to Joey, and Joey was like, Michael needs to book for the AWE. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. How about you text Triple H that?
I think me, you, and Kevin could be a better creative than what they have.
Probably. I mean, honestly, like.
And WWE needs to get its head out of its ass and start working with these other companies.
Well, Triple H already said that they're open for business, so.
But as long as Vince is in that chair, that's not happening.
No, because Vince is Vince and Vince is an asshole. Vince is of the mindset if it didn't happen in AWE, it never happened.
Paul Heyman cut a promo to Vince's face a while back.
Yeah, in 2001.
Yeah, and it really hit home because it was the truth. It was Vince had went against everything his father stood for.
Yeah.
If Vincent K. McMahon was still in charge, we would have options like Forbidden Door 2. And
Honestly, I don't think so, and I'll tell you why. Everyone wants to say, "Well, if Vince's father was around, this would happen or that would have happened." If Vince's father was around, we wouldn't have got WrestleMania because Vince's father didn't think WrestleMania was going to work. He didn't think going outside of his territory was going to work. If we didn't have Vince McMahon Jr. do what he did, someone else would have done it. It would have been the Crockett's. It would have been the people that ran what was then the NWA, and they had a show called World Championship Wrestling.
a lot of times, what's wrong with the wrestling world, I a lot of times can blame on WWE.
Explain.
WWE is very selfish and cancerous to the wrestling world.
Dude, let's really break this down for a second, okay?
Like these guys that come from the Indies. If you're not Samoa Joe or AJ Styles, you don't get to keep your name.
You want to know why Samoa Joe and AJ Styles got the chance to keep their name? Because they own the copyright of it.
Like LA Knight was Eli Drake.
Again, did he own the copyright? No. Shinsuke Nakamura got to keep his name. Carl Anderson got to keep his name. Luke Gallows got to keep his name. Cody Rhodes got to keep his name.
Cody Rhodes has always been Cody Rhodes.
You know? So you can't really say that WWE has changed everyone's names because they really haven't.
And I figured that AJ and Samoa Joe, the only reason they got to keep their names because they're star power.
And also they own the copyright for it. AJ got the copyright to AJ Styles whenever he left TNA.
And I know y'all see the name.
What?
The studio name.
Oh, yeah. So. But yeah, AJ got to keep his name because he owned the copyright for AJ.
And see, I'm one of those wrestling fans that I hold down the indies.
Right.
Impact, AEW, Ring of Honor, MLW, CGW.
Yeah.
A lot of times these indie promotions don't get the credit they deserve.
They don't.
We wouldn't have stars like Nick Gage, the Good Brothers, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks.
True.
New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom is just as big as WrestleMania.
In Japan, it is, not here. I guarantee you, if they ran Wrestle Kingdom in California, they might draw a crowd. But if they ran Wrestle Kingdom in Dallas, probably wouldn't draw shit. Now, if you ran WrestleMania in Dallas like they did last year, it would sell the fuck out.
I don't know. I think a lot of people is just sucking WWE and not giving the wrestling world. A lot of people can't call themselves fans.
I will give you that. But the same thing can be said about the pro AEW fans that only want to talk about how great AEW is.
Don't get me wrong. AEW's 3-4 years old. They're still in the beginner stage.
I think they're about 3, almost 4.
They're doing really good things right now.
I will give you that. From what I've seen, they are doing better than they were. I'm not saying that they're doing phenomenal things, but they're doing better than what they were.
More or less of what I'm saying is they're on their way.
Yeah, they've been on their way for a while now. But again, according to what I've read, they have not drawn a profit yet. And yeah, you can blame COVID for that when COVID was going on, but now COVID isn't going on. So what are you
That
gonna?
was
So what are you gonna blame now?
that was chemical warfare from China. I don't care what nobody says.
But I mean, so what's Tony Khan gonna blame now for not turning a profit? He literally said he's not expecting to turn a profit until 2024.
Well, that's what happens. The wrestling business isn't free.
I'm
You
not
can't
saying
just
it's
start
not.
up a wrestling business and print tickets and go, "Oh yeah, I'm going to make more than what I put into this."
Trust me, I know. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the problem is this. Tony Khan wants to buy the rights to all these songs and buy Ring of Honor. And for what reason? Just because you can?
Yeah, to keep it
That's
going.
that's fucking stupid.
Because if not for Ring of Honor, we wouldn't have guys like the Briscoes. We wouldn't have guys that came out like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Jay Lethal, CM Punk. These guys went through Ring of Honor to get where they are.
Actually, AJ went through WCW. People tend to forget that.
Yeah, no, he did. He was actually a very good cruiserweight in WCW.
I mean, he was there for like a cup of coffee, but still, he was fucking there.
Yeah, he was there. And AJ, don't get me wrong, AJ should go down as not a WWE Hall of Famer, but a wrestling Hall of Famer. Period.
And I'm sure he will. Without a
He
doubt.
has won championship gold in every promotion that he's touched.
Yes, except for WCW.
Yeah.
Because he didn't win one title during his run. But for those of you who liked AJ Styles in WCW, they actually have an AJ Styles action figure from whenever he was in WCW for sale now.
And see, I hated not having all these promotions for some years. But now it is a really good time to be a wrestling fan.
Very much so. I will agree to that. In Kevin's comment, the best match that AEW has put on in his eyes is the Mark Briscoe Jay Lethal match. I will agree with that. To me, that was probably the best match of the night. You were there in person. I wasn't. I saw the Mark Briscoe and the Jay Lethal match. I think that was the best thing that AEW's done in a long time.
And let's do this. I'm going to pay homage right now to Jam and Pug. Jay Briscoe was probably one of the greatest Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champions to date.
Yes, he was undefeated for 300 something days.
Yeah.
Something like I forgot.
This man is a 2-time ROH World Heavyweight Champion, a 13-time Tag Team Champion.
Yes.
The Briscoes were the most underrated tag team of all time.
Yes. And people are like, oh well, I bet WWE won't talk about Jay Briscoe. They did there in NXT.
They did multiple times.
Exactly. And
they did it on NXT and SmackDown.
And they changed a segment in the show because whenever you saw the New Day come out dressed like, they were going to a funeral, the original segment was a funeral for Pretty Deadly's NXT title shots. And they changed it because of what happened to Jay.
Yeah.
So everyone who says that WWE doesn't have a heart needs to watch that.
I just think Vince needs to step away permanently and not come back.
Problem is, this is Vince. He's not going to. Vince's ego won't let him. That's what it came down to. And Vince,
they need to let Karrion Kross go be a star somewhere else.
And Vince told us in 2002. He said if anyone's going to kill his creation, it's going to be him.
If they can't push Karrion Kross to be what he is, they need to let it go again.
They're doing better with Karrion Kross. A lot better than they did whenever he was doing the Gimp gimmick.
He should have been the one to dethrone Reigns.
I don't think that the fans would believe that, number one. At least the WWE fans.
That whole showing up when the bloodline was out and setting the sand thing on the table and telling him TikTok should have played out.
And I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to lead to, him either getting a title shot or getting it and losing and joining
Even
up
that,
with
even
Wyatt.
getting it and losing would have been cool. But they should have played that story out. That would have been money.
Oh yeah, but I think the reason why they didn't is because WWE casual fans wouldn't believe it. Because let's face it, you're going to have someone that's a big star to beat Roman. You're just going to have to. Or it's going to have to be someone that's an upset. And I think, honestly, if Sammy does not win the Royal Rumble tonight, I'm banking on it. I did a booking on it. I think they're going to have a battle royal on SmackDown. Sammy and Kevin would be the final two. They both fall out of the ring, and then Roman has to do double duty at the Elimination Chamber. He beats Kevin for the Universal title, and then he loses to Sammy for the WWE title. And that's how you can split up the titles. Because
And let me tell
that's
you,
what,
I absolutely loved War Games this year.
yes. And I think that's because, let's face it, USA and Fox, they want different titles. They want to have the title split.
As they should.
So that's what they want to
Roman's
do.
held them titles hostage for well over 3 years.
That was a Vince McMahon idea, wasn't Roman's.
And honestly, I don't know if they're trying to, erase the legacy of every championship reign that's ever existed, including the longest of 8 years.
I mean, well, the rumor, as long as Vince was in charge, was that they wanted to have Roman have a Bruno Sammartino style reign as champion.
That's not going to work these days.
That's
That
what
shit's going to
that's
get stale. Your ratings are going to go down. Your ticket buys are going to go down. Your stock is
actually
going to go down.
not necessarily. And let me explain. People are always saying they want to go back to the territorial system, right? Back in the territory days, you maybe if you were lucky got a title defense every other month. If you were lucky, there were certain territories back in the day where the NWA champion would never go to, like Memphis. Ric Flair never went to Memphis the entire time he was NWA champion. So yeah. I mean, back then it was cool because it was a bigger deal when you got a title shot.
I don't know. I like the way that Darby Allin, does the every week.
Yes, I mean it's cool, but eventually that's going to get to the point of, okay, we've seen this song and dance before. What's special about it?
Him beating Buddy Matthews clean was the
Yes,
greatest thing I'd ever watched in person.
yes, I will agree.
Buddy Matthews gave him hell.
Yes, but again, this is a theory that Jim Cornette has always said: less is more.
And you're right, it is. But the whole fighting champion thing is what fans want.
Yes, what fans want, but at the end of the day, what's going to really make money? You make
Fans,
the fans wait for it. You know what made the most money in the Attitude Era?
not a 300 and 800 some odd fucking day reign.
How long was Austin champion?
Austin lost that belt as much as Ric Flair did.
But how long was his reigns though?
Quite a bit.
Between all of them.
Quite a bit.
Exactly. How long was The Rock's reigns?
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? You and the number one factor in the Attitude Era that people tend to forget is the pay-per-views. You invest people into your pay-per-views. Jim Ross at the end of Raw every week going, order the pay-per-view. You got to see what's going to happen next. That made people want to order the pay-per-view. The Sunday Night Heats, before the pay-per-view, and you had that closing segment where Austin did something to somebody, it got you juiced up and ready for the pay-per-view, did it not?
And see, Jim Ross has lost so much, man. He's only commentating for Rampage, and that's an hour long.
That's all he can do. That Bell's palsy's a bitch. The more he talks, the worse off it's going to be.
He slipped up and called Kenny Omega the WWE champion one night.
Yep. But yeah, the more he talks, the worse off it's going to be. Why do you think for half of 1999 he was not calling Raw? Michael Cole was, for the simple fact of his Bell palsy got to the point that he really couldn't talk. That's the reason why. He was taken off TV because he had to go deal with his Bell palsy stuff. He was? What episode of Raw was you on? Had to have been one that was down here. Only one I could think of that was down here was the Raw after Rock won the title.
Yeah, we've only had one pay-per-view down here.
Yeah, Backlash.
Yeah.
I went to that event. It's pretty fun. I was in high school. But that is all for the Premium Live podcast of WWM. You like how I did that, huh? Pretty cool, huh? But coming up at 7, we're going to be back with the watch along, and the Digital Media Championship tournament will begin. And do not forget, I'm winning it because I'm me.
On behalf of every AEW and indie fan, signing out.
Yep. Michael, I will see you on the watch along. Thanks everyone for being in the chats. And we will see you live at 7 p.m. It will be on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok live. The Digital Media Championship Tournament history will indeed be made. And I'm the one that's going to make it. Anything you guys say to that?
I'm coming for your neck.
All right, come for my neck then.
I'm coming for
just
your
remember,
neck.
Just remember, when you come at the king, you better not miss.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you, like they used to say, this is him business, and I don't miss.
Trust me, you'll miss.